trajectory-wise?
Yeah. I tend to try stopping quickly by trajectory.
Okay.
And producing spin. Sometimes.
Right. And these ones, you would say you tend to get a little bit more of the stop through the height versus the spin. And the good thing I would say is you've got, condition-wise, I think you've got perfect conditions to play this shot. I mean, you're generally playing off reasonably tight lies and you've got a good golf ball and your wedges are in great shape. So what we need to learn to do is, I think, just I'd like to lower the trajectory a little bit on these shots. I feel like that would give you a bit more control. And I feel like you could do a little bit better job of contact.
Okay.
I feel like you're as in control of the shot as what I'd like to see. So there's a couple of things we'll do with setup and maybe your swing. Right. And I'll even just get you to experiment with this. I mean, you may not use it because it takes some time to get comfortable with a club if you've never used it much for these sorts of shots. But I want to see when you hit this, does it give us a different flight and maybe a different spin? You got more balls there? So a couple of things I'd like to see. I want to get you much narrower in your stance. Yep. I actually want to get you to grip down almost into the middle part of the grip. It's going to feel really close and it's going to force you to get closer to the ball, just like that. If I'm standing to hit this shot, I'm a little taller than you, but I'd probably be right here as well. So you're going to feel like you're much closer to the ball. Alignment-wise looks really good, so I'm happy with that. What I want you to start off and feel is, I'm going to get the ball back just a little bit in the stance. And I want you to make some swings first where it feels like you're using very minimal wrist action back and through. Okay. Yeah, whatever that feels like to you. Good, and again. Good, keep going with that. So first thing I'm going to do is lower the trajectory. See if we can get that kind of established. And here you feel like, again, there's not much wrist action compared to before. A little bit of an open face, just like 1 degree or so it's set up. Yep. That's good. So I'd say straight away we've done one thing which I believe we're looking for, and that is to get the flight a little bit lower. Second one is to get it a little bit softer, but we've got the trajectory. And I would say, when you watch the pros play this shot, if anything, the one thing that I'd say that they do so consistently is when they're wanting to, they can control the flight. And that helps them to control trajectory. They don't really need, I wouldn't say they really struggle with distance control. They've kind of got that feel. So what they're really looking for at the highest level is trajectory control and ultimately the spin control. And when I was watching you hit, I didn't really feel like you had control over almost any of those. A lot of balls flying up, some coming out low. What I'd like to see for these first 4 or 5 that we hit is just see a consistent trajectory. Then I can start to soften it off, which ultimately gives us a little bit more control. Because that'd be coming in a little hot. If you're into the wind, it would be great. You'd be like, but in this situation, it's not quite getting the grab just yet. That was nice. A little softer that time. But could you see how consistent those trajectories were?
I like it. More under control then.
Yeah. And I would say for you, there's probably 3 or 4 mini things that we've done. I've brought you in closer to the ball, obviously gives you more control, you're gripping down a lot more. I'm taking a little bit of wrist action out, so we've moved the ball back just a little bit because I felt like it was a little too high, and then we've taken some wrist action out. Really nice there. Without even me telling you, you've figured out the soft part. But the ball position and I'd say the wrists and getting the ball standing a little bit close to the ball ultimately gives us the control of the flight, which is great.
Okay. Yeah.
That really means you don't have to make as big a swing. Like you're not feeling like you have to do as much on the way back.
Yeah, the only thing with the previous thing that I have is I have to feel like as if I'm dumping the wrist angle.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, that's getting more into like a specialty shot versus let's say a stock shot. Yeah. It's almost complicating this stock shot.
Okay.
Just let me get one of these on video for you. Yeah, go for it. Hair thin, it's okay.
Thin, yes.
Yeah, it's okay. Beautiful. So the way I describe the wrist action, I mean, you might have heard me speak about this before, but I like to think about the wrists are like gears in the car. You know, we start at say 0 and we've got an ability to move all the way through to like a 5. That'd be like maximum wrist angle like we would in like a full swing. For this 30-yard shot, you're probably only trying to carry it 20, something like that.
Okay.
You're probably maxed out. You're probably at 4 or 5.
Okay.
And we really don't need that because we're only trying to move the ball a fairly short distance. What I've got you to feel there is more like a 1 or a 2.
Okay.
So I've tapered that right off.
Right.
We're still able to get the distance because we're de-lofting the club a little bit, the ball's back a little bit, that sort of stuff. Yeah, so that's more or less what we've done.
Right.
So it's not that we want 0 wrist action, we just want, I'd say we just need it relative to the distance. Much more controlled looking setup as well, with your feet, with the distance from the ball, with the gripping down. Yeah, looks solid. So if we just wanted to, let's say just soften this off just a little bit more, because maybe you might say, well, this is a little bit downwind, it's a little bit downhill, I don't feel like I can quite get it to stop at that middle flag. It's probably fine for the back flag and it's fine if you've got a little bit of a headwind. What are we going to do just to get this ball to come in a little bit softer? And what would you do?
Usually play for a higher shot.
Right. Okay, so my suggestion is 2 very simple ones. Move the ball forward 1 and open the face, say 2 or 3 degrees maximum. And again, now you're just trying to figure out the energy needed for that distance. There's going to be a little bit more energy.
Same backswing, no, same wrist action.
Yep. Yep. Different?
Different, yes.
Now, did the ball come out much higher than before?
I'd say it's maybe 25% higher.
Okay. But the softness of the ball was much softer. Yeah. And we've still got a little bit of a cushiony lie here, so you will get the ball popping up. Sometimes off really tight lies when you do that, the ball will still come out fairly low, but it won't come out as hot. Yeah. Yeah, just like that. That's a much tighter lie there. Yeah, so I'd predict off this with the same sort of strike, the ball's going to come out at a, not a crazy high trajectory, but it'll come out much softer with more spin. It's probably hit just a hair behind.
Yeah.
But those are basically the 2 variations I'd work on.
So yeah, ball a bit forward.
Yeah.
Up a little bit open.
Yep. So you've got your stock sort of setup that you were doing before, and then you've got this sort of variation of ball a little forward, face a little bit more open. pretty grippy one.